missile can be very effective, and Broodlords can't really do much about Synchro. So here we go.
대왕의 길을 열고 있어요. 지금 번도는 안 돼요.
It's it. Here takes it. The unsuspecting.
Today's matchup: Dark, Classic, Match 1, DRG, Dream, Match 2. Africa TV Freak Up Studio Live, GSL Season 1, Code S.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time to close the night out with a best of 3 to decide who is the second player to be eliminated and the second player to move on to the next phase of GSL Code S. DRG versus Classic is where we end this all tonight.
Yeah, this should be a good match, I think. I'm actually really excited to see. Like, I think Classic is going to stay on his Void Ray openers. Let's see what DRG has planned to try to take that down. In the past, he has been, like, basically his Zerg vs. Terran is top tier, and then his Zerg vs. Protoss and Zerg vs. Zerg do feel a step down from the other top Zergs in Korea. So I'm wondering what his Zerg vs. Protoss is going to look like here against Classic.
Seems, at least against Dark, that Classic, had this idea. Kind of looked even similar to what we saw in the last game, at least with getting the carriers and kind of slow playing it, but Dark dismantled it. Now, nowhere does it say that Classic has to try that again and make it work here on GRG, but I think we're all going to be watching for that and looking for that, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think he's going to go down that road. We have Roughneck, Hardwire, and Blackburn as our 3 maps. Oh, that's interesting. Blackburn is the last map. I'm really hoping we get there. Definitely plays a bit differently.
Yeah.
The gold base and the way where both the mains are on the bottom. That could be a very interesting final set.
Should be fun. DRG, he's had, how do I say this? I mean, his ZVZ, it's so different than PvP. I don't want to take too much from it, but also the ZV T today, I mean, he got cheesed by Dream and shut it down both times. So I feel like I'm still trying to get my bearings on where DRG is at exactly. Yeah. And I think this best of 3 is going to be the perfect place to see it.
For sure, you're right about that. Who do you think moves on here? It's a hard one.
I actually don't know. I mean, if I picked one, I'd be guessing, but I think it's okay for me to guess. Maybe Classic.
Classic?
Yeah.
Okay.
But let's see. DRG is also a player in general. It's hard to kind of place where he's at. Sometimes he looks so strong with his fundamentals. Anyways, guys, let's go to Roughneck.
2022 GSL
Get your next Rough.
Season 1. Team MB, DRG. Alpha X, Classic.
Right. From Roughneck PVZ.
So we were casting a TVZ on this earlier. We did note that the top right and bottom left bases, they're super far away from everything.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be as much of a factor here or not. If it is, it's probably going to be in the Zerg's favor. But definitely against Dream, it was like Zerg seems to start to take moon bases at that point in time.
Moon bases, yeah. Totally. expanded the moon, your opponent doesn't even have rocket ships. It's like, well, that's imbalanced.
It's like you're fighting, you know, a battle on ground, and it's like, well, they're also taking the moon. You got to stop that. You're like, man,
the moon, you say. You start working on a spaceship that can hold its atmosphere inside. They're like, hey, sorry, now they took a base on the bottom of the ocean. You're like, oh, dude, like, oh, how do I deal with this?
This is hard, man.
It's like, well, just expand to the bottom of the ocean. I'm like, a planetary dies to banelings.
If you can't go to the moon and the bottom of the ocean, how are you going to conquer the Earth and its moon? Riddle me that. Oh, wait. Oh, see, he's drilling.
Yeah, like drilling for gold minerals down there.
Yeah, it seems pretty dangerous to drill on a cliff like that. But look at the drilling going on at the bottom below that in the water.
No, it's not making much headway.
No.
The drill bit will break eventually.
The minerals are right there. What are we doing? Stargate proxy. Now, the build time on the Void Rays changed. I don't know why I suddenly decided this was a PvT. I think we were talking about mining minerals like that. I'm looking at this Terran stuff. I just decided we're in a PvT. But could this be a Void Ray here?
No, I think it has to be Oracle.
Okay, that's what
like
I thought,
if you make Void Ray, no.
But I literally just decided this is a PvT and that they were going to go Void Rays because I'm so used to thinking about Stargates
Proxy
disclose
Stargate,
and then the Void Ray change.
All right, little Adept walking up right now. I mean, if you're going to proxy Oracle, I guess you're probably not going to go into Void Ray afterwards, right? Like, you could make one, but, like, not a Void Ray build, you know what I mean?
Sure.
You'd have to rebuild a Stargate at home because they are going to eliminate that pylon.
Adept going to continue to shade in over here.
Definitely some big potential for damage here. No spores even started. Look at this. The Queen's coming up to fight against this Adept. Out of position. Ooh, doesn't quite get that last drone, unfortunately. Ah, the juking from DRG a bit too strong.
Oh, man, this is super low on HP. It's going to get away, but, like, that really didn't do that much.
It didn't. It did. That's a little bit. Oh, my God.
Wait, what?
Another
What's another
Stargate?
pylon? Wait.
I mean, another pylon, yeah.
It's a very small Stargate.
Yeah.
Void Ray. All right, apology accepted.
Yeah, no, I guess so.
They're going to go back to the Zerg's base and it's Terran. I'm like, I was never wrong.
This is... Oh, he's going to go Tempest. Fascinating. Taste.
Yeah,
I definitely did not expect what we're seeing here.
And I guess the Void Ray is like, yeah, you can make one of these in between that. And another
so
Stargate. You were right. I apologize, Artosis.
It's all right, Tasis. I'm going to let it go this time.
Normally I cast this off the pro gamers' lines in their palms, but...
Dude, this is weird. Now Ling Bane is going to be coming out. Like, you watch, like, this fancy build from Classic, and then Ling Bane just gets right into his natural, kills him off. You recall Tempest try to kill Zerglings. You ever see anything that sad before, Tasteless? Oh my God.
Mass Lings. DRG feeling uncomfortable.
I'm just like trying to imagine Tempest being recalled to try to kill Mass
I know.
Zergling. It's like sadder than being dumped on your birthday. You know? It's like just... Look at all the queens coming out.
All right, so he wants to just try to end this
Does
up
he
here.
know he can't transfuse out here? Dude, look at this. Ling Bane coming up. Oh, boy.
Okay. Goes for that battery. Uses the Banes on the pylon. So there's two pylons here, but you know, there's one pylon that's a little bit more important than the others, and that's behind the gas and the minerals. On the left, I mean. I guess they're both behind the gas.
He's actually defending this surprisingly well. Like, the Tempests are doing really well against these queens.
Yeah, this is kind of funny. He needs to pull that Tempest at the top center away, though.
Yeah, it looks like he might actually end up losing that one.
What am I... Okay.
Just GG's.
And that's what I call a gaming fight.
Gaming fight.
That was
so that
kind of
was-
cool. So I guess DRG saw that and didn't know how to answer it, and we know that for sure now because he tried that, and Classic's like, I know
Well,
this exactly.
That's not something that you're likely to hit very often, is it? Really interesting building placements there by Classic.
Oh, poopy face.
Builds everything around the drill.
Frustrating loss there for DRG. It's like, oh, all right. Like,
Well, yeah, that was definitely very, very cheesy from Classic. But cool. I like to see it. I mean, obviously the Queen's coming out. I think DRG though should have probably paused and then be like, "You guys need to tell me it's on the new patch." trying to get the game restarted. You know what I mean?
that was a cool move there by Classic. Again, I feel like maybe if you have seen that before, it doesn't quite go that way, but I don't think DRG had seen that before.
No.
I like our music in between games. This is like the alien ships are coming and the humans are in trouble. Or the Zergs are in trouble. Because for the Zergs, the Protoss are the aliens. Don't be confused about that.
Oh.
So are the Terrans.
Well, no, Terrans aren't.
They're the aliens. To the Zergs, yeah.
That's crazy.
2022 GSL Season 1. Team MB, DRG. Alpha X, Classic.
You know, back to what you're saying about humans being aliens to Zerg and to Protoss. I have thought for a long time that it would be really cool. You know, the alien invasion movies we see where aliens land on Earth and it's like super apocalyptic and scary and like all that. I want to see one of those where the humans are the aliens, like landing, and like you see the alien civilization, like they build it up, like everyone's kind to each other and like living a happy life, and then these advanced humans come down with our machine guns and like we
pillaged their planets for battery, material or something.
Yeah. And I mentioned before because I do think that would be a really cool movie idea because it would kind of like flip that around and someone's like, oh, it's like that's what Avatar is. It's like, no, that's
Avatar is so bad.
Avatar is actually like we should be getting royalties. They basically ripped us off. Like, every time we cast, we connect our Avatar tails, you know
Well, the
what
truth
I mean?
is that StarCraft really copied Fern Gully, so I guess actually we all are in a little bit of trouble here,
That's true.
Avatar is
Space Fern
actually
Gully.
so bad.
It was supposed to be, like, so cool because it was, like, the first movie made like that, right?
Well, that was when they thought there was going to be, like, we're all going to go to movies with the 3D glasses.
Oh, right.
Like the actual kind of carnival-looking 3D glasses.
Which, by the way, Biff Tanner's friend in Back to the Future that always wears 3D glasses, that's like the coolest.
That is the coolest, man.
I want to be like that guy. I just want to wear 3D glasses everywhere.
And then there were 4D movies in Korea for a while where, like,
Oh, yeah, I
people
went and saw some of
splash
those,
in
yeah.
water. They kind of splash water on
Blows
your neck.
air on you and stuff.
It's dumb.
It is kind of
It's
stupid.
really dumb.
There's chair rocks
It's like, oh, they're
around.
in a desert. I wish I was physically hot. It's like, no.
Well, I wish some air from a tube in my seat would blow in my face right now so I really feel like I'm flying.
Yeah. So I can feel like it's the cheapest Disney ride in the world.
Yeah.
Do they make movies in 3D anymore? Is that a thing? Like in theaters? That was a thing.
It was a thing for a little bit? I don't think so.
What
Like,
do you know?
nowadays it just goes like IMAX, right? And that's about it.
That the
I think that
IMAX
you-
makes sense, though.
I think you can, at certain places, see, like, movies that are, like, 3D or 4D or whatever it is. Like, I think it does.
But it's like the
I think they
director
don't-
comes in there and goes, like, we're going to film this.
Exactly.
Okay, right.
Yeah, I think it's more like some places you can do things. Like, I had a TV once that had a setting that made stuff 3D or whatever, or it was a monitor or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried to play StarCraft in it, actually.
Yeah.
It was really weird trying to defend Reapers. But, like, there's ways to make stuff pop nowadays, but it's... What we're really figuring out is that 2D was the best details.
That's right. So this game, it doesn't look like Classic wants to do anything similar. I mean, we have, again, a Void Ray out here, but this seems to be more of a replication of what he tried against Dark and did not succeed in doing. But I do think that Dark is on a different level than DRG. So maybe we're going to see Classic's ideas pan out and what he really wants to try to go for.
Yeah, yeah. He might be able to just go straight into, you know, yeah, look at that. He starts his +1 air, second Stargate. So yeah, I think that was just a well-planned cheese for the new map that he had against DRG. Is like kind of an interesting location. You know, far to walk to, but very close by air and everything, behind the mineral patches. He had the drill there, which is also yellow, so like if you just happen to glance, maybe you think that, wow, there's like a lot of drills over there right now. Tasteless is not listening to me at all. I could say anything right now.
All I hear is, Tasteless.
I could dox you right now. You wouldn't have any idea.
And I'd be like, no, you're probably right. Anyways, I see that melee attacks coming here.
By the way, that little bird thing there on the ground, Tasteless, I want to know how that evolved. That thing doesn't have wings or arms. It just has legs, a tail, and a head. It's like a snake with legs, but only 2. Because a snake with 4 legs is a lizard.
But the problem is if that thing trips on a rock, it just dies. It can't get back up.
It's so true. Yeah, it has a push with its like face. Its mouth is in the dirt trying to push itself
Its beak
up.
is very brittle too. It just breaks and then it screams and dies as desert dirt collects in its face hole.
Yeah. A garbage animal. No wonder it's not a Zerg unit.
Yeah. They don't want to infest that. It would be cool if when the creep came across the map, like the little creatures just got infested and just became critters.
They could just fight.
They turn into banelings. I think they should change it to that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Dark did say the patch really hurt Zerg, so we need to give him something back.
That Dark interview, man, that was something else.
So, yeah, this is right into the Fleet Beacon. We see Twilight coming up right now as well, so it does look like it's going to be going into...
Oh. Did someone say you can transfuse? Maybe it doesn't matter.
Huh. Well, he has an... does he have an Overlord over here that he can drop creep with?
Oh, good question.
I don't think so.
What if Protoss just kills us? What if we find out that DRG didn't know? He pauses the game and we watch in real time as they explain him the game was patched. He's like, you just see his jaw drop and he gets really quiet and then walks out of the studio without it pausing.
Yeah. Well, the Queens are coming up, but plenty of cannons, plenty of photon.
Oh boy.
Plenty of shield barriers. Okay, so this is not looking super hot for DRG right now, is it?
It would be even worse if he got a little bit further out and then he turned back around. He's like, no, you know what? It's too far. It's just...
He was like thinking to himself, he's like, wait a minute.
Dude, he's going to do that. He's got more links coming. He's like, well, he's going right by the tag Queens. I think that this is going to be bad. Well.
No, I think this is good for DRG.
Yeah, don't worry. He stopped the 4th base that, you know, Protoss thought was free.
What if this was to trick Classic into making shield batteries and cannons?
Well, you already tricked him into making a 4th base, and, I mean, he's a laughingstock now.
He's a laughingstock. Look at all those defensive buildings and units he's made.
Can you make zealots with those?
And the Queen stasis, they did exactly what they wanted to do. Yeah. They gained energy on that walk. You should see when they get back on creep just how many transfusions they can cast now.
You should see their pedometers now and the calories they burn. All right.
Nice force cancel.
It's a weird one, man.
Infestation pit coming up.
Oh.
DRG taking his 5th in the top left.
2 carriers coming here. Disruptors and the weapons upgrade here for Protoss. And now we're going to basically wait and see. You know, as the army gets tougher and tougher, upgrades kick in. There's 19 mutas coming out here. Hey, he's going to force a cancel on this. Well, what do you think about the muta explosion? This actually could be good.
Yeah.
And I think, oh God.
Sees
All right, he sees it. That's big. Does he switch into Phoenixes after these 2 carriers come out?
He just started Phoenix range, so definitely going to be doing that. Throwing down some additional photon cannons, another Stargate coming up. I think you can't make more mutas than what you've made right now. You have to dive in with these, see what you can get done, and then figure something else out. This was scouted too quickly. Okay. Okay. Gets one of the disruptors.
I like the fake Archon.
Yeah.
And now it's Corruptors and Banelings, actually. Kind of a funny composition here.
Ling Bane Corruptor. Yeah, the Mewtwo's gonna. Ooh. They actually dive in on the main there. Oh,
no.
He's actually gonna force a cancel on Phoenix range. Look at that. Denied. Nicely done.
Okay, that's huge. 21 workers killed.
That looks like that will be it. Classic down to 58 against 90 workers from DRG. DRG adding in quite a few Corruptors now.
And I gotta say, man, it's kind of crazy. It seems like, you know, whatever Classic wants to do with this comp, now it's not looking so good, is it?
No, it's really not. Like, if he had range on these Phoenixes, it would certainly be looking better than it is right now.
Even then, though, it seems like he's able to take some of these fights. Oh, man.
Yeah, that didn't go so well for DRG.
No, it did not. 18 mutas lost so far. That's a lot, dude.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, one of the things now is that, like, if Zerg can't do crazy damage coming up here, Protoss is just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. We'll have to watch for the Banelings and if and how they connect on the targets. But other than Banelings, I don't see a whole lot of outs here for the Zerg.
Yeah, it's kind of an ugly position to be playing from. I think you have to kind of rebuild what you're doing here. Look at, oh man, that is going to be huge. Look at that. Oh my god, slows everything down here. Oh, never mind. Just unpower everything immediately. Okay, and then I kill all that, and then disruptor balls. Doing an okay job there. Looks like he will get the Nexus as well. Hey, it actually turned out all right.
Yeah, that went really well. It's funny, it's like the Lings and the Banes are doing much more work than the Mutas and Corruptors.
I guess the Mutas and Corruptors are doing something here, kind of keeping it busy. But they are being picked off so quickly, so efficiently. We have some Infestors on the way, a lot more Banes coming in. I mean, if you keep him off of 4th base, it gets a little bit tricky for him. And there are 90 drones right now.
The Corruptor's going to push these Phoenixes back a little bit further. Again, the Lings are going to come in here, do quite a bit. As the Banes, I mean, what does he want to do with these, I guess? Just try to commit onto something. Can't get back out with those. Dude, I'm looking at this game and, like, I'm getting a little bit worried here for Classic because he's not really going anywhere. And, you know, I get the idea that this set of units is you amass it, and that's really what this is amassing a big air fleet.
Yeah.
But it just seems like Zerg can kind of run circles around you while they take the entire top half of the map.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. It's like Classic is not, he's like kind of staying at the same supply, he's staying at approximately the same base count. There's like some efficiency going on, I guess, but...
What's weird is, like, I get it, like, adept timing attacks basically stopped working, and so there was this whole era of us watching Protoss, like, try to do something sneaky and it backfires, and, you know, there you go. But now I look at this and I just think, you know, Protoss are basically in this position now where they're very, very focused on trying to amass this up, but I don't see Protoss going anywhere with this tech.
No.
I mean, DRG's doing pretty much the same thing as Dark, maybe not as strong as Dark did, but the fundamentals, as far as problems are for Protoss, they're still there.
Yeah. Well, he's starting to add some Ultras in, so some different ideas are coming out here for DRG.
Right.
Getting the Adrenal upgrade, plus they're on melee. Gonna pick up a Nexus. But yeah, as far as Classic, there's nothing new, right? Like he's making some Voids, like I guess a few Archons are gonna be added in. Yeah, the Voids might be his best chance, but now we even see Vipers for DRG. Like DRG is getting a step ahead right now.
So, I mean, Protoss sits back. They are eventually maxed out. We probably need to see some kind of a push here for Protoss. I mean, Protoss will never win this game if they don't attack out. Unless we get so far along in this game that Zerg has used up their side of the map, and then we get to one of these moments where Protoss is trying to move into their part, and Zerg's having to, like, basically overextend and super commit, try to get any more resources. But I don't think we're there at that point yet at all.
Yeah. Neural is coming up. Ooh, these investors, like fungal plus just anything here is going to make it very difficult for him. But parasitic bombs will be coming out.
It's the bank that worries me here for Classic, is that it looks like DRG just has so much money that after the fight's done, he's going to remake exactly what he needs, and it's going to be okay.
Ooh, parasitic bombs going out all over the place right now, and down come the infestors. Some fungals thrown out.
Yeah, you know, I gotta say, man, Protoss is starting to really hang on in this fight. I don't see that much left over here. The Neurals are insane, though. And
yeah,
ultimately, the Corruptors reign supreme, as they always have. And again, Zerg's going to max back out. This looks like we should be going to a Game 3. And I'll tell you what, man, I think it's time to take this style of play from Classic today and put it in the closet and bring out something new to play with, because it's not working. It's looking like the same game over and over and over here from Classic, where it's like, you know, he's driving himself mad trying to get this composition, and, like, you know, DRG and Dark as well. They're just not going to let you get there.
Yeah, it seems that way. Even when Classic had a little bit of an edge for a little bit, DRG just started running around with Ling Bane and causing problems, and that's what we saw happen to Classic before as well. Like, he just can't hold on to the bases. So yeah, maybe it's time for something else. His aggressive play against Dream ended up working out. I mean, well, I guess, but I meant against DRG there.
Yeah. Well,
wasn't very aggressive against Dream. He was aggressively trying to get that crazy composition.
This is the last map in the last best of 3 for Group A, man. Either DRG or Classic move on, and the other one is the second player to be eliminated in the round of 20. Let's see who it is. The map is Blackburn. Let's go.
2022 GSL Season 1. Team MB, DRG. Alpha X, Classic.
So this map is a different one. It's one we're pretty familiar with. You can have split map on this for sure. And, you know, because of the spawns on this map, you do end up with locations at the top right that are pretty unattackable.
Yeah.
You know, that is, you know, Zerg, look, they've been so dominant in StarCraft 2 for a long time now. And one of the things we see is that there's certain bases that Zerg can take. And this should be something map makers should consider in the future, is these new bases that Zerg can get that are just, you can't reach them. You know?
Yeah.
There's certain maps where I look at this and I'm like, that's not a base that you can attack into without really being punished.
Yeah. Any map where the players share the same side, that tends to happen on.
Sure.
Right? Like,
and it's
Golden Wall, remember?
Yeah, of course.
They were both on the bottom, and it's like, yeah, well then, I mean, whatever you're putting at the top corners is infinity away from your opponent.
Yeah.
It's just so far out.
And, you know, I believe, you know, it's Roughneck where you have, again, expansions in the bottom left and top right where it's like, man, that seems pretty far out.
Yeah.
But if we do get in the late game, the top right expansion on this map, that could be a factor, it could be an issue.
Sure.
But part of me feels like we couldn't possibly have Classic try this again, right? I mean, I understand when you come in with something.
It's definitely a map that can be divided, though.
Yeah. I think the issue, though, is that, well, actually, you're right. This is a more dividable map. It's actually smaller than the other maps as far as, like, what bases there are. Some of these maps are huge, and Zerg can kind of just, you know, do whatever they want on that side of the map.
Yeah, you kind of get 5 bases semi-easily. I guess the minerals can be attacked on the gold base. 12 and 6 are, like, when we see split map, like, no one really ends up mining from those, because if you do, you kind of win, right?
Yeah.
And then you have that, like, more forward base, which I guess you can get because there are those slow zones, so it's a little bit hard for your opponent to engage into your side. But yeah, it's like some of the other maps, occasionally you'll see, like, Zerg will take a base where it's like, oh, that might be a Protoss base, really, right?
Yeah.
This map, I don't think you'll ever see it. The game's already over, right?
Right, yeah. I think you're correct on that.
So it might actually be a good map for Classics, what he's been trying to do.
Well, I mean, if that's what he's going to do, it looks like it started. And we've got the Void Ray coming on here. And, I mean, let's see.
We don't yet see a startup at a third, though. Like, we don't see a pylon.
I think it's usually after the Void Ray's out, but, you know, it might be differently timed out on this map. Things depending. It looks like he's going to get that set up over here now.
Yep.
So there it is. That Nexus started.
And now we'll see if he starts the +1 air weapons. Ooh, Twilight.
Okay, and you know what this could be? He's going to go straight into some kind of a push. Because it's, you know, even to us, we were watching it, we thought, okay, well, here it is. Let's give it a shot again. And what he might try to do is just clock him in the jaw with a push.
Yeah, and I think that DRG definitely thinks that this is going to be a Stargate build. He's getting +1 melee, which is just generally very good against Stargate, right? Because the Lings kill things so quickly, and it's hard for Stargate units to kill Lings quickly.
Whoa, but you don't want to lose that.
No, sir.
Honestly, really, it's important to not even take that much hull damage on that. So some gates are coming here. Charge is inbound. He's going to get a Warp Prism, have an explosion of gateways, and try to charge lot him.
Yeah, he's going up to 4 gates right now. You think it's going to be more than 4?
I mean, if he's going to actually attack with it, I think he has to, right?
Yeah.
It's like 3 gateways. It's like 3 zealots come at a time. We're like, oh no.
It's four gates, but yeah, okay. It's not that many. But occasionally you'll see things like, you know, there's adept builds where you only go like 3-gate adept with a prism and put pressure on, and then you tech up behind that. So it kind of looks scarier than it is. Yeah, well, look at that. Huh.
And then a Robo support bay.
Disruptor? Colossus?
Well, it might set up to look like it's going to be more all-in with Zealots, and then it's not, and then there's going to be a follow-up harass. So, I mean, there's a lot of layers to this trick.
Yeah, if you force roaches here, because you're going charge lots, then disruptors are going to do very well.
Spire inbound. Keep in mind, when mutas can be made, almost all parts of what Classic are doing are not going to work.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, slow Warp Prism into Queen and Spore. I don't like that.
No, not so much. Good defense here from DRG so far. Oh, God. He can't even kill the creep tumor.
Oh, boy.
This is not the end of the world for Classico. Even though none of this is working, like, it's 4 gates. He doesn't have that many Zealots. This is almost fake in some ways. I like this for DRG, though. This definitely looks better for him, in my opinion. Second Stargate, Fleet Beacon. Is he gonna actually go into, like, is this anti-Spire? Did he actually see the Spire?
No, but I mean, you just see Lings and you kind of expect it, right?
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Well, let's see. I mean, there's almost 1,000 gas.
Well, he didn't start +1 air, which I feel like you just basically always get if you're going to have 2 Stargates pumping out air units.
Well, either way, I mean, he needs to be ready for air attack to come in here from the Zerg. And, you know, honestly, this has done, like, nothing Like, this has been a pretty abysmal early game for the Protoss.
Carrier.
Okay,
what am
so
I looking at?
it's like
what is this?
Carrier before anything else?
He like went 4 gate, very few units, harass a little bit, not really get anything done.
Well, he's sort of
carriers without +1.
He's shifting from tech to tech. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like he's trying to throw him off so much.
Maybe.
But I mean, I don't know how well this is going to work. It's a weird game, man. Anyways, there's 15 mutas inbound, and here's the thing. I think there's about to be more mutas than interceptors in this game, Artosis.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah.
There's like 1 carrier. There are some Archons.
Yeah.
So he does have some potential here. More Archons being made.
Yeah, but the question is, where are the Archons going to be? Because, you know, there's not even cannons here. So the mutas just come in, they're going to kill the probes. The Archons are going to get there. It's a tale as old as StarCraft 1, man. When the Protoss just has Archons and you're like, well, I guess these are supposed to be mutas if the mutas ever choose to fight them.
Yeah. Okay, the mutas just absolutely destroying some Stalkers being warped in. Very much a desperation moment here. None of that shoots up.
None of that shoots up.
I think this is about it, man. These mutas are doing too much. Yeah, Classic just threw his head to the side.
Yeah, this game's over. A very, very kind of bizarre end to the series here is Classic. I think, you know, it's like watching a series of failed magic tricks. And you know, none of them have worked, and here we are. And then this is the moment where he has to admit that magic's not real, and he has to take his top hat off and take the dead pigeon out of his jacket and walk out, because he ain't tricking DRG.
No, Classic is incredibly dead. Twice the supply right now for DRG, 1 million links coming down. The mutas themselves have done enough damage to end this game, but now with the links killing off the nexuses and all the probes, Classic is just letting it sink in right now. Unfortunately, not going to be able to make it into the next round of GSL once again.
Okay, so this is over, man. I mean, DRG moves on. The Zergs, look at this one Archon. That was it all. That was Classic right there, watching his hopes of
watching his
the round of 10 dashed.
Yeah. And DRG definitely very happy about this advancement. Did get really slammed by Dark, but played nicely other than that. And
yeah,
here we go. A couple Zergs going to the round of 10.
How many more will move on, Artosis? That's the question. I think Dream and Classic looked good, but some shaky moments in their play. I think Dream probably really regretting the double cheese against DRG to start this off.
Yeah.
Classic, look, he gets the match of PVT. He looked very good during that, but the PVZ stuff, man, this kind of Void Ray carrier tech looked old, and it felt even worse when he tried to make it work. We're going to go to an interview now with DRG. Andy is unable to be in the studio today, so it's going to be your boy. Our second player to advance is DRG. Congratulations. Thank you. So first of all, I want to hear how you feel. Last season, if I won, it was just the round of 16. Still felt like it was a far way to go, but now it's the round of 10, so I'm feeling good.
처음에 링 스카웃을 해가지고 상대방 마당에서 질럿 있는 걸 봐가지고 이거 막으면 상황 굉장히
After the first game defending, you defended that cheese rush really well. Any thoughts on that? I knew it was coming ahead of time, so I knew what to do. Seems like you're very confident in macro games.
사실 좀 오늘 운영 승리는 좀
Oh, she had a question with the mind game with the queen all in.
따라줬다고 생각하고요. 그래도 하는데 토스한테 운영 게임
I think I get lucky a lot of times in macro games, and whenever I play on ladder, I always actually lose. So I also got some pointers from Dark in the matchup ZVT. He gave me some good tips, so I appreciate that.
안 되잖아요.
Let's talk about the game on Roughneck.
거기까지 가서 알았어요.
The queens couldn't
누르고
transfuse.
있는데 애들이 만화를 쓸 생각을 안 해가지고
Oh, I didn't even notice that. I kept trying to transfuse my
망했다.
queens, and I
그
noticed
순간,
later.
졌구나 싶었어요.
네.
Oh, that's right. It's a patch. So that's why I couldn't do it.
2연속 전진 병역
Round of
빌드에
10.
대한 대처가 완벽했는데요. 예상 가능하셨나요?
Dream did a proxy Rex twice in a row.
하고 바이오닉도 정도
Seems like you were completely
해가지고
prepared. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
들고 왔는데 오늘 경기장에서 리토를 하는데 자꾸
So Dream does bio.
뭐 신맵이
and has a variety of builds.
이런 소리를 하길래 이거 무조건 날빌이다. 그래서 그냥 들어서 최대한 꼼꼼히
Before we
하면서
were going into the
마지막에
matches,
잘 통했던 것 같아요.
오늘 투베이스 뮤탈리스트
he was kind of saying weird stuff like bio's pretty good, so I thought, okay, something weird's going on here. So I was ready for cheese.
안착하게 됐습니다. 자, 오늘 다른 이야기도 해보면 오늘 경기력이 IEM 화풀이.
Let's talk about some other things. Seems as though
IEM에서의 아쉬움 잠깐 한 번 더 얘기를
you're
해볼게요.
probably still disappointed about your IEM results. Let's talk about that for a second. You were eliminated very quickly, one of the first to be eliminated.
사실 그 핵도 경기 다 끝나고
So honestly,
선수들 얘기해줘서 알았어요. 저는 내 게임 끝날 때까지 맞은 줄도 몰라가지고 정말 게임을 많이
all the other players told me after I was done that I was out,
뭐 어쩌겠어요.
and that's when I really
되게 좋은 경험
registered with me how poorly I played.
카토비체를 한 번도 안 가봤어요.
So I'm going to try to harness that and use that as a bit of experience moving forward.
오랜만에 만나가지고 얘기하고 개념도 많이 듣고 하니까
That was my first time in Katowice as well.
광탈 뭐 성적이 받쳐졌으면 더 좋았겠지만
And it was also very cool to meet all the players from all over the world, all the international players.
박수호 선수는 이번 밸런스 패치
It was a good trip.
생각하세요?
사실
What are your thoughts on the patch?
이거 이대로 되면 좀 토스가 멸망하는 거 아닌가 싶었는데 해보니까 핀너프도 은근히 커가지고 상대방이 뭔가를 했을 때
So at first when I saw the patch, I thought, oh, this is going to be pretty bad for Protoss, but seems to me like it's actually still a manageable thing for Protoss. I think it's good that Queen's got nerfed a little bit too. Personally, as a Zerg, I find games against Protoss pretty hard. So anyways, I'm glad that I played well today. We're going to find out more as the tournament unfolds. Any thoughts before we close this out? You made it to the round of 10. Any words? Since my participation in Katowice and my experiences there, it was an excellent motivator for me from the first season on. I'm going to get ready to continue to collect all those points. And also I want to especially thank Maru and the pointers from Dark.
왠지 모르게 4명이랑 하는 게 저는 그게 편해가지고 그러니까 5명이서 플리그 노는 게 편해서 재밌을 것 같아요.
알겠습니다.
He's talking about the round robin phase and getting in there. He's looking forward to that. Thank you. Thank you.
네, 이렇게
Cool.
선수 만나봤는데요.
Cool.
That's yeah, congrats to DRG for moving on. It's kind of shocking that he didn't realize that we were playing on the patch.
That's crazy, man.
That's we were literally joking about that.
Yeah.
And it was
well,
true.
it's funny because when I saw the Queens coming, I thought, like, does he still think it's good?
Twice.
Yeah. Well, when he saw it, I was like, well, maybe he just still thinks like it's either going to be good enough or that they're going to underestimate the fact that you can still walk with Queens. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's how it went down. DRG advances.
It has been documented.
It has been documented.
That's Group A, guys. 2 Zergs move on. We're going to be back on Thursday, same time, same place. It's going to be Zest, Ryung, Armani, and Maru.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. I mean, obviously, Zest and Maru you got to look at as a couple favorites in the group. Ryung had a successful Katowice, so we'll see how he does. Armani, I think, a gigantic underdog here. But he shows signs of brilliance from time to time.
Yeah, he's got his moments for sure. Maru, I think, easy peasy moves on. It's going to be fun seeing how Ryung can perform. And I mean, Zest, dude, some say Zest is best.
Some say.
Some say.
Yeah, some also say that he's going to the military 7 seasons ago.
I know it still hasn't happened yet. I get confused.
Yeah.
I've had several moments where I'm like, well, it's his last season, and I play it up, and then I come back in the studio, and I'm like,
I'll literally never
what?
do it again. Even when he's in the military, I'm like, yeah, Zess is in the group later in the week, guys. Like, don't worry about it.
Guys, it's good to have Code S back. We, of course, are here for Super Tournament, but it's good to have our kind of mainline show back.
Yeah.
Started up all over again.
Yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Little reminder, ASL is going on at the same time. It is on the Africa TV YouTube channel, so definitely check that out. We have the first round of 8 match already up there for you to watch if you haven't checked it out yet. And, of course, all the other matches have already occurred as well.
Yeah. And I don't know, man. I'm just excited to see if we're going to have not Zergs move on, man. Zergs are looking better and better, man. I thought, like, especially today, we'd see something different, but apparently even when DRG
doesn't know that we're on the badge. And marches queens across the map twice.
Yeah. So funny to hear that in the interview. We're like, okay, so that is why. All right.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't seem like this makes that much sense, does it?
But I think we'll probably have Terran and Protoss advance in Group B. We'll see, though. Guys, that's all the time we have. We love you. Take care. We'll see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.